Well, hello farming friends, and welcome back to another edition of Farming Simulator 2015 with me, Mr. Moose. And as you can tell, we have moved back over to my big country and continue our series here. When we last left off, we were doing some sugar beets and harvesting our wheat fields. And that's kind of where we left off, and that's where we're at now. So we need to jump in, fire our harvesters back up, and get that going. So let's see, here's our sugar beet field. Let's get this guy fired up so he can start collecting beets for us. Move him out of the way a little bit. And in this one, we're going to go ahead and set up our sugar beet harvester to use Courseplay. You may recall before I was using auto combine to do the field and set our headlands in. And again, the reason I did that is because auto combine with the sniffers on it does a really good job of following the edge of the fruit, and will even in the corners it will keep a nice turn on there without leaving a whole bunch of waste. Whereas Courseplay, the turns in the corners are really shallow, and they leave a whole lot of waste in the field. And so I didn't want Courseplay to do that, but at the same time, auto combine, I don't really love it, because instead of keeping a straight line here, see how it's jutting in and out? It just doesn't follow a good straight course all the time, and that annoys me, because then all of a sudden you'll have these big huge swings in and out, and I don't know, it doesn't do a good job at keeping a good path, a clean path, as I want. So, and the other trick is with Courseplay, like I said, you would cut your headlands around, and let's say you said 3 headlands. When you cut 3 headlands or 4 headlands, however you do it, and it starts processing, the one thing that Courseplay does wrong is with this particular harvester, when it goes back to pick up the field, it will. I'm going to stop and let this unload and top him off, and he can get going. So if this was Courseplay, it would get right here to the very end. It would finish harvesting these guys up. It would stop, raise the harvesting head, spin on around, and then it would pull up to where the cab was right on the starting waypoint, and it would begin its processing. Well, when that happens, usually the cab is right here, and that topper head's going to drop down, and it's going to miss all the fruit behind the topper head. So you have all that is waste that is not going to get processed. And so you either have to just decide, well, I'm not going to do that, or I'm going to let that all be waste. So what I figured out to do is in Courseplay, you give yourself like 5 headlands, but then you come back and modify your course to only 3 headlands, so it gives you a buffer zone. So let's demonstrate that here. We're in field number 15. We're going to set this up for the northeast corner, headed south, and I'm going to originally show you 5. And 5 is going to generate our course for us, and here that is. And you can see that it's still a little bit shallow, but it puts it right on that edge. Let's go with 4, because I think we can show it with 4. Generate 4 courses. It'll drop back. Alright, with 4 courses, and this one's a pretty good example right there with that green dot. If this was 4, and it pulled up, when Courseplay pulled back up to that, and the cab hit the green dot, you'll see that it wouldn't be in there all the way. It would sit sort of like that when the head dropped, and you'd miss a whole lot. So you end up with a ton that you've either got to come back and clean up, or you just have to just ignore it. So what I found I can do is I can come in here and I can roll all the way back to 3. I can adjust my course, and now I have plenty of headroom here. I've got a nice buffer zone that's going to let it come in, start processing before it even gets close to the field, and or to the fruit, and it's going to give me plenty, and it's going to make sure it just cleans everything up for me. And you know, trial and error, I found that to work for me. It might work for you. So if you're having problems with having a little bit left over and it's missing a lot, you're using Courseplay, you're wondering why it's doing it, and just remember that because it is sugar beets, and they have to be, and this is the same with potatoes, because they have to be topped first before you can harvest, Courseplay does leave a little bit on the ends of at the beginning of each row, and that's kind of annoying. So that's a workaround for that. It might be something you want to check out. Alright, so that's set up. And let's see, our wheat field is harvested. I did go ahead and finish that field up, but I've got 2 full trailers here that need to go to the silo. So let's get this guy fired up, and we'll back him up, and then drive course, and that'll take him to the silo. Jump out of him real quick. We'll fire up this overloader, and we're going to go ahead and start harvesting field 4 as well. So I'm going to fire the overloader up, and I'm going to, it's still on course 3, so we're going to jump into Courseplay. I'm going to delete out 3, and we're going to pick up 4. And the one thing I did when I set up this overloading point for field 3 is because it's right between the 2 fields, I just use it for the same for each, but the course on the overloader has to be a little bit different because it has to take it back to field 4. So I'm just going to back up a little bit and let it reapproach the that point, and it'll sit there and wait for the semi to come back, and when it comes back he can unload into it, and we'll be good. Alright, so the last thing we need to do is run down here, and our New Holland is sitting right here in the bushes. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Bad me. I forgot to activate all of this. 4-wheel drive activated. Automatically search for the New Holland. There we go. Alright, that'll be fine now. Alright, instead of tabbing through all the vehicles I have, I will just run up here, because inevitably I have to tab through 90% of the vehicles to get to the one I want. And in case you don't know, once you have a vehicle running, instead of hitting tab, hit your control tab button, and control tab will cycle you only through the vehicles that are running, which is something that took me a while to figure out. So if you don't know that, that's a nice little handy helpful tip to know. We'll get this guy running, and we're going to take him to the northwest corner to get started. And my reasoning for taking him to the northwest corner is just simply because the center between these 2 fields is loaded full of trees, and many of them are right up next to the edge of the field. So I did go through and took the processor and cut a bunch of those trees down, and basically I gave me a lane that was the width of the overloader trailer. But I still have some issues with it. It's pretty tight, and I still have issues with the overloader turning and driving into the trees. So what I've done is I went ahead, and if I start in this corner and I head east, I can get this entire swath cut before it needs to unload the overloader, and that pretty much will get me in without any problems. So we'll go ahead and set this course up. We are field 4, and we're starting in the northwest corner, and we're going to be headed east. I give it 1 round through before we start going north and south. Generate course, and Let's see, I'm going to drive most of this. Before I start this thing manual or automatic, I'm just going to drive it. Because I do know that man's going to come back. There it is right there. I want to let him get right up here to where he cuts over. Because he does cut a little bit of the edge of this field. And the combine will catch him. So let's let him pass and then we'll start this guy up. There we go. Alright, so they should be good. I say that, but I know how Courseplay is. If I do something, if I use Courseplay and I'm playing alone and not recording a video, it works just fine. As soon as I start recording a video, it's going to run into every tree they can find, and I'm going to have to babysit it the whole time, and it drives me nuts. Alright, let's go through our equipment. I do have a little thing that we're going to do today that is a little different. Oh, I got a couple of different options for it. Our silage is ready in the BGA, so we need to move it from one side to the other. And so we're going to use that conveyor belt that's out. We're going to purchase a new one. And I need to automate this guy real quick. We're going to purchase that that new Marhu conveyor belt, and we're going to move that silage from one bin to the other one, because as I mentioned to you before, being a modded map, there are certain little things that are messed up, and it happens to be that you can't get all the silage out of 1, 3, and 4, and so I'm stuck with basically one usable bunker, and I need to get that cleaned out now, because we got 2 fields of corn that are going to be used for chaff, and I would like to get those taken care of. So what we're going to do is jump in the store real quick, and we're going to go to miscellaneous and get that bill, that converter, and I am going to I'm going to go ahead, and I don't do this very often, but I am going to reset that to the farm. There we go. And we'll grab let's grab this guy here, and we'll run over there. Maybe this guy's not the one to do. He's kind of slow. That little New Holland will do it. Yeah, we'll use this guy. So we're going to grab that conveyor belt and take it over to the silo, and we'll clean it out real quick so that we can start doing some chaff with the corn silage, or make some corn silage. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We still have that forestry work we need to clean up as well. We'll get to it eventually. But I need to get that bunker cleaned out, like I said, because I do have those 2 fields over there. And I'd like to get that processed. So, alright, let's run through here real quick and head to the BGA. There's 2 ways I can do this, and I have to admit, I have talked with some people about it, and unfortunately my thought was you could take this conveyor, because it's got the boom on it, put it into the I swear. I told you, Courseplay hates me. As soon as I start recording, there's no way it's coming off of this tree. You would think it would back itself off of it after it tries to go forward for 20 minutes, but no, it's going to find a tree and wreck. Stupid. Are you kidding me? Only when I'm recording. Only when I'm recording do I have issues like this. I guess I need to just come cut these trees down. If I start on this end, I have problems on the other trees. And apparently we're going to run into this tree too if I don't move it out of the way. Because this thing's just so stupid. Alright, hopefully there's no more trees for it to run into. Let's just stick with it for a second, because there is another one right over there by the houses. And knowing my luck, as soon as I tab around, it's going to run straight into them. It's not going to hit this one, it's going to hit the one in the corner up there when the combine tries to make the turn. And just as soon as we got in the other tractor and started moving, it would turn red again for us. Ah, you gotta love it. I hate cutting all these trees down too, you know? It's like, why set them up right next to the map? You know that's going to be an issue for people. You know, if you move it another couple of feet off, nobody's going to have a problem with it. Oh, I got by it. Don't know how I managed that. But then, of course, the combine's going to run into this thing and jackknife it. Come on, get off of it. Now it's just hung up on it. I mean, can it not buffer that thing out a little bit further and tell it not to take the turn as sharp? Oh my goodness. Anyways, alright, so hopefully that's set up right. We move on. Anyways, I was talking to some folks about this, and we were discussing whether you could just drop this conveyor, because it has the boom arm on it. We were thinking maybe you could drop it into the into one BGA bunker and it would unload straight into the other one. So that was a thought, but it ain't gonna work. I've tried it on another map and it won't work. So, and now the other fence slipping. I can't do anything without having to babysit Courseplay. Only when I'm recording. Oh goodness, it'd be nice to be able to get some stuff done without having to babysit. So anyways, where was I? Yeah, I was talking about this. I was thinking you could just take this thing, open it up, set it in here, and these walls don't look that wide, so I was thinking you could just take it and have it dump over. But apparently it doesn't recognize the bin to dump into. So if we do expand this out, and if you haven't used this mod or hadn't seen the other video I did on it, it's J to expand it out, and to raise it up. N lowers it and compresses it in. M and K move the boom around, and then the B key turns it on. So I'm going to drop it, and I'm going to go get on the other side and just back it in. Alright, so we'll get connected up to that, and then we will see if I can back this thing in, get it right up against that wall. Oh, come on, don't jackknife on me. Seriously? Alright, so we'll just turn around and drag it in there. Alright, that's pretty much right against the wall there. So we'll shoot that over the wall. And if I was lucky, I could turn it on and it would just pour it into the other one, but it's not going to do that, obviously. So I have found a trick earlier. Let's see if I can find... That's chicken. Here we go. Nope, that's still on the farm. Of course, it's like the last ones I tab into that are right here at it. I guess I could have gotten out and run over to this guy. I did find one trick with this. I can take this, start it up, and by driving straight underneath that, I'll raise this up just a little bit and tilt my blade down. It will think it's loading this thing, and this thing will just pour it onto the ground. So I could do that right there, and that will actually transfer it out, and it will just load into this bunker. It's alright. There's a trick to unloading one bunker into another bunker. It's not beautiful, but it works. Ideally, you would wish that the bunker would just the conveyor belt would just load it in there, and you wouldn't have to go through all this. I had thought that would work, and we wouldn't have to do anything like this. The other option is I could bring that the tipper in here and just pull it up underneath here, fill the tipper up, dump the tipper, fill the tipper up, dump the tipper. So I did have a little issue when I was trying this before. I did have a little issue where as this pile of silage grows, the front load, the wheel loader, wants to slide backwards. And so we'll watch that, and if that's an issue, you have to keep adjusting it. I'm thinking maybe if I just brought the tipper over here and did it with the tipper, I wouldn't have to keep moving the tipper all the time. So that might be a little simpler solution. This is getting it done. There, it's coming out a little bit faster now. Yeah, see, it's pushing the tipper backwards as the pile grows, or pushing the loader backwards. So now I've got to keep moving forward so I can keep the bucket in the stream. See how much we got in here. Only 4%. We got to get this thing up to like 50%, 60%, I think is what we had in the other one. But this will be nice. We'll clear that bunker out. Then we can set the loader to the telehandler. We can set it to clear out this thing and load the BGA while we go cut chaff with the big Krone X, or the Krone Big X. So not as simple a solution as just putting the conveyor belt in there, but this is going to work for us. And obviously, as we clear out this little set of silage, we'll have to readjust, but we'll get it in here. 6%. It's going to take a little while, and I've moved out of the stream, so now I've got to readjust, and I'm stuck. Let's lock the diffs in on this. Forward just a little bit more. That should keep us there for a good little bit. Maybe not. It's just going to keep walking backwards. So yeah, I need to keep doing this, and I can get it done so I can free that up so we can cut chaff, because I'd like to get that all fired up and going before that field sits too long. But that might be a pretty boring video just to sit here and watch me babysit this the whole time. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's go get that tipper, because we know we can do this. Let's just back this out of here, and just for giggles and to see, because somebody else may run into this issue and need this, so let's just grab that tipper and see if that's a little bit faster. So I'm just going to jump out instead of tabbing. I'm going to run over to it, it's not that far away, and we'll jump in it and see if we can of course I get stuck on that rail. We'll bring this guy over there and see if we fill it up, and then just dump it. Let's see if that's a faster solution. And if somebody else knows a better way to do this, please let me know. I really like this map, but this is one of the things that, you know, sort of frustrates me. I sort of like doing the BGA. It's not like I need the funds anymore, because I've done really well on this map, and I pretty much have as much money as I need on it. But there's so much more that I still want to do on it. So I hate to, oh, and of course I hit that. Oh yeah, that's going to fill this thing up a lot faster. So I got it dumping and filling at the same time. Might not be any faster than the other way. Guess you're probably stuck at the rate of that combine. I mean, that conveyor. Well, it's just going to be a slow process then. I don't know, we're 10%. I think I had that thing at 50 or 60% when I covered it. Oh, it leveled out. The other option is I can just take Courseplay and have it go through and just clean that thing out with the telehandler on Courseplay. Which, while this is doing its thing, I could do that. Right, that's lost its... Let's pull forward just a little bit on this guy. And then move, 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 move. Come on. Get up and over there. There we go. Let's go out of there. The other thing I can do is I can take Courseplay and I can tell it to unload this thing. And I'll show you how to do that real quick. If you've never used Courseplay to do the shovel feature on it, it's pretty simple. And we can set up a course to unload that from one to the other real fast. So we'll just drive around here to the front while that works on the rear end of it. And so here's the way this works. You just come over here and you're going to set this up where you want to start. We'll go into Courseplay and we're going to record a new course. I'll raise my bucket pretty high for this. Alright, so we're going to start recording. Alright, and we're going to pull up to the beginning of the bin. And we're going to put in a pause marker or an unload marker, whatever it is. And then that marks the beginning of the BGA or the bunker. And then we'll drive all the way through it till we get to the end. And we'll put in a second marker. Went over all the humps. We'll put in a second marker right here, and that'll mark the end of it. So basically this is telling it between those two spots is where it needs to load the shovel. Alright, now we're going to put a back up so we can back out of this. Because you wouldn't want to drive all the way through it, and if you load right at the beginning you will just want it to back right out of it. So it'll back out. And I'll just set it to kind of take a little turn here. We'll stop right here. We'll turn off our backing feature. We'll have it drive forward just a little bit. We'll turn the corner and come in here into this bunker. And now that we're in the bunker, we'll stop. We'll give it an unload point. We'll set our backing up so we can back out of it. We'll come back up, stop there, turn off the backup, and then we'll pull back around to the beginning of this little course that we did, and we'll stop the recording. So if we stop the recording, alright, and then in this shovel feature you have to set up your load position, your transport position, pre-unload position, and loading position. So load position, we'll just come right around here real quick, and you can set this up at any time. Load position is where you want to load at. So if we come down here like so, put it just like that for loading, and we'll click off of it, click on it again to set it, and it's good. Your transport position is where you want your box to be while you're driving around. So we just raise it up just a little bit for that and pull your bucket back like so. And that would be your transport position. So I'll set that as okay. Pre-unload position. As you're approaching something, let's say you were approaching the BGA bin over here to load out. The pre-unload is it sets the arm to how you approach. So I want the arm to be raised up some. If I were going into this bin, I would want that arm to be elevated so I didn't drag on that arm. So I'd put it there. That's the pre-unload position where it needs to be for that. So then I would, if I want to set that, I click it to where it's white, and then I put the new one in by clicking to where it's green, and it says okay. And then the unload position, that's where you want how you want the bucket set to tip, and at the elevation you want the arm to be. That would be good for, let's say, that, and it would be good fine for the button. Click it white is clear to take in a new recording. You click it green and it's recorded. So all that is good to go. So if that's all set and everything's right and this works the way I think it will, all I got to do is say drive course. It will come up, and if we watch, it will twist the bucket into the load position. It'll grab a little silage, fill the bucket up, it'll back out. It's in the transport position right now. It's going to pull around to that other bunker. It should raise up to the preload position when it makes the turn. And when it gets to this point, it should dump all that out. And it will back up and keep doing that until it clears out that bunker. And so you can use that same recordings type situation to record to fill up your BGA. So, and we'll cover that once I get all this moved and we start filling the BGA bunker up. Well, it just kind of drove all over the world right there. When I get to the point where I'm putting this into the BGA, I'll go over that again for you. But yeah, that's what that shovel fill section of Courseplay, that's how that works out for you. Alright, let's jump into this guy and dump him. At least I showed you something new on this one instead of just sitting here and trying to move it over. At least you got a little Courseplay tutorial out of it. It wasn't all boring. And you really wouldn't run into this on most maps. It's just this particular map. It's a mistake on the map itself, and it's really not an issue to too many people. But for me, you know, I do all aspects of the game, and I want to be able to use the BGA. And I've got all that corn that I set up specifically to chaff. So I want to be able to get it in here. I really don't know why I need money anymore. At this point, I've got all the equipment that I need, and unless I just wanted to buy another combine and buy all the farms on this map. But this map's pretty much beat it and done everything I can do on it. But like I said, there's still, you know, there's a whole area of forestry that I did where I need to pull forward. Maybe if I back up a little bit, it'll give me a little free space. It gives me free space there. You know, there's a whole section of forestry that I deforested and replanted trees, and I'm like in the 8th day of growth on them, so I'm waiting for them to get fully mature to see how that works out and everything. So it's like, I don't want to totally trash this map. I want to keep playing it because I do like it, but at the same point, things like this, honestly, the BGA isn't actually that necessary for me anymore because I have pretty much done all of it. continue to work that. Alright, so that's kind of where I'm at with this. So next time we visit this map, we'll be able to do some corn chaff and get that into this bunker, and we'll be using the silage that'll be in the first bunker. We'll be loading it into the BGA to process, and maybe we can get into some of that clearing up those logs that are back there in the back. I haven't forgotten them. I know they're still there. And honestly, that's what I was gonna work on in this video until I realized that this bunker was prepared and ready to go, and I thought, man, I gotta get this done. So, and I thought it might be somewhat interesting to see how what solution I figured out for this. But I don't know. It might bore you to tears. You might be thinking, why did I sit through that with him? Get the trees cut so we can see the second part of the apple mod. Alright, let's pull forward just a little bit. This truck's gonna get stuck in here. Alright. Ooh, I'm stuck in the wall. I think I am stuck in the wall. Hello, how do I get out of here? Alright, that's interesting. There we go. Looks like we're getting whittled away at this pretty quick though. Got that last little bit back in the back that we'll have to get taken care of, but that won't be any big deal. Well, I hope this didn't bore you too much to tears on this video. The next one will be a little bit better. Dump this guy out. See what's going on here. As soon as I come over to him, he decides he's good to go. Alright, why is this guy sitting here? 100%. There comes the trailer. Alright. Well, I think that's about going to do it for this episode. I'll go ahead and finish up getting that silo done at the BGA. And that will get us... Why is time moving so fast? That will get us ready to do that. Like I said, we'll be able to do chaff at that point, and we'll go do that cornfield. And so I'll finish up the wheat field. That way we've got both truck and trailers to come over and do the cornfields. And our next video will probably be just that, doing corn chaff. So yeah, I hope you come back and watch that. And if you like this video, which I don't know why you would, but if you did like it, make sure you give me a thumbs up on the video and let me know that you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see what videos are coming out when they come out. I do try to get a video out every day. So until tomorrow, stay safe, have a great day, and I will see you back for our next adventure here with Farming Simulator 2015 with me, Mistermoose. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks again for watching this video, and if you made it all the way to the end, well, maybe you liked it. So give me a big old thumbs up. That like goes a long way. Also, subscribe to this channel. I will update the videos every single day, so there'll always be something new for you to see. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back again tomorrow. Thanks for your support.